The Canadian Parliament has observed a 1-minute silence on the first anniversary of Khalistani terrorist Hardeep Singh Nijjar's assassination. Nijjar was gunned down in Canada's Surrey on the 18th of June last year. India had put him on a list of designated terrorists under the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act. Canada then alleged that Indian officials were involved and responsible in the killing but failed to provide evidence of this. This is a claim that New Delhi has vehemently denied. However, the allegations also affected the diplomatic ties between the two countries. There have also been instances of Canada giving a safe space to pro-Khalistani elements. Interestingly, this honour for Nijjar at Canadian Parliament comes days after Canadian Prime Minister met Prime Minister Modi at the G7 summit in Italy. Following the meeting, he also said that he sees an opportunity to engage with the new Indian government, including on economic ties and national security. Well, to talk more about this, joining us on the show is Mr. Himanshu Bhatt, senior journalist. Surinder Singh Lali, international affairs expert, also joins us on the program. Mr. Lali, I'll come to you first. Well, Canada continues to disappoint us, doesn't it? You know, celebrating this man's one-year death anniversary in the fashion that they did goes on to indicate about their intentions. They obviously are not familiar with the sensitivities that India has about enemies of the state, you know, who live in Canada and are being endorsed by this current government under Justin Trudeau.
Thank you, Vineet. And I think in return, we should also have a minute's silence for the death of principles and morality in the Canadian Parliament. Vineet, the gloves are off. And my fear is that I hope this Nijjar element doesn't, end up the Burhan Wani way. I mean, I don't know what's going on in Canada. In the very recent past, they had honored the pro-Nazi, veteran. And now so much so for this plumber activist. I mean, seats are 2% of the Canadian population. And I don't know what wisdom is the Canadian, government prevailing under, that is it worth it for your narrow political gains to negotiate the interests between two democratic, English-speaking large economies where there is so much of potential and such a large diaspora? I mean, what really hit the rock bottom beneath was that they had a mock trial outside our consulate. I mean, is this the sort of theatrics that the Canadians are now going to end up being? And I guess sometimes when I say on TV that Canada's heading the Pakistan way, I see every possible trend of that happening. Unfortunately, it has been almost 39 years that the Kanishk bombing happened. 84 children died in that. Now, I want to know if they would also have a mock silence for them. But Vineet, I feel there is much more to this picture, what appears to be, because I think it's the United States which is behind the scene. I mean, if you look at how things have been panning out, and especially with Jake Sullivan being here, and now Nikhil Gupta being extradited. So I think there is a larger chessboard which I feel is being put up against the Indian state. And this is much more than, Nijjar and Pannu. This is a much larger strategy to sort of, in a way, keep the growing India in check. So that, since we've chosen not to become an ally and a strategic partner, but they're uncomfortable with that because, the worst kept secret in the world is that they need us in this part of the world. Because, the American hegemony is up for revision and China being the next, boss of the world. So they need us in the Indo-Pacific. And I think this is a lot larger, chessboard which is being set up to keep India in check.
Mr. Bhatt, I completely concur with what Mr. Lali has said, that this is obviously not only Canada's doing. They have support from the Americans as well in terms of trying to ostracize and relegate India to this spot where we can be attacked diplomatically.
Yes, it's that five eyes, And what bothers them the most, is India first policy. India's India first policy. And that is where, USA will not try anything on face. They will try it from the back route. And that is where this Canada comes in. But then when, as Mr. Lali said, when the gloves are off, why not we do that? Quebec separatist. Quebec wants a separate nation, and if they want a Khalistan, yes, why not, sir? Have one Khalistan in Canada. And stop sending our students there. There are umpteen number of places in the world where people can get good education, at least as good as what Canada provides. And look at the state of their economy. It's becoming a Vadda Pakistan. Canada is a Vadda Pakistan. And the influences there of Chinese and other things. When we look at all these things, it's a big geopolitical chessboard that's come up, and they think that after 240 seats, Narendra Modi is on a weaker ground. That is what probably they are thinking. And that's why this small little theatrics will keep on going. But they don't know, a hurt Modi is a very dangerous. And when gloves are off, he's very clearly said, when, Justin Trudeau sent a congratulatory message, giving a bit of advice, as if he's a big brother, human rights and diversity and rule of law. These are the three words he used. And in reply, what did our Narendra Bhai said? He very clearly said, mutual understanding and concerns for each other's problems and respect for each other's concerns. We were very clear. And probably you do not know, we do not know, because that's not come out. On the sidelines of G7, maybe Narendra Bhai has said him something very sternly, and this is the reaction of that. Because if you remember, in G7, Narendra Bhai had one-to-one with so many state leaders. But not Justin Trudeau, not Joe Biden.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.